share with you how I make some homemade candles. Through the years on my YouTube channel, I shared with you many different ways of making candles. And I'm going to share with you that in the playlist at the end of this video. But I'm going to share with you today how we're going to make some pumpkin spice candles. So let's get started right into the video. It's for a generous gift. A subscriber gave me a kit with some soy wax and also with some wicks. I really want to thank her so much for that. I use the soy wax, so this is what I use, and I'm going to share with you in the description box the links to all of these products. But back in the early days, I didn't have money to get soy wax. I didn't have money to buy new wicks and things like that, so I would take candles that were used and I would remelt them. So there's two ways you can remelt your candles, but always use a double boiler. So what we're going to do is I have my candle wax in a container like this, and it has a spout, which makes it really nice. But this is how the old school, this is how I used to do it. So you take an old kettle, you're going to fill that with water, and I take an old tin can. I will bend the tin can to make a spout, and that's where we're going to put some wax in. Back when I lived on the farm, I used old crayons or old candles. But with the internet, you can get these supplies really at a good price. So we have our soy wax in here, like this. Now I do use beeswax, but I don't for candle making because beeswax is really expensive. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put these on a double boiler. Both of these go on a double boiler. Never ever do you melt wax directly on any heating source. Always use a double boiler because wax is really flammable. So we're going to go put this on the stove, and then I'll show you what we're going to use. Containers are just whatever you can find, but make sure they're glass, and you want to have a fairly thick glass. So these were candles at one time, and I got them at the thrift store for 75 cents, the candle holders. So we know they're going to work great. You can also use a canning jar. You can use all kinds of jars as long as you make sure the glass is thick. So what we're going to do is I have two different kinds of wicks. We have our traditional wicks, which is a form of string, and then it is dipped into paraffin wax or soybean wax with a little clip at the end. But I wanted to try something really different, and this is the first time for me. I got wooden wicks. So it's a piece of wood with a clip, and you just put it in your jar like this. And I'll show you what it looks like. So they come in strips like this. They really aren't that expensive, and it comes with 50 or 100 or 200. Then you find a little metal clip, and you just put the wood piece right into the clip. And you just set it right in your jar. It stays upright. If you're going to use these, which is what you traditionally will use, then you have to get a candle adhesive. Now, I got this at the thrift store. All year I look for things like this. Now this is wax. Or you can get it, they're like little buttons that you can buy online that are sticky, almost like a sticker. And then you put it in the middle like that, and it sticks to your jar. Of course this wick is way too big and we will trim it. But for today's demonstration, I'm going to be using these wooden wicks. What makes these unique is it flickers really pretty, and it has almost like a wood smell. So there we go. We have these three candles with the wood wicks, and then we have one with the regular wick. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on the wax. So the wax is melting, and I'll get back to you when the wax is totally melted. What we're going to do is we are going to make some beautiful caramel pumpkin crunch. This is a scent that I got online, and then we have the orange dye to go with it. So I decided to put some adhesive on the bottom of these as well. I think it's just going to be a lot better. I won't have them falling around that way. Now, if you don't have the money to get adhesive that is made for candles, you can buy adhesive that comes at your local Rite Aid or CVS. It's the same wax that you use for when children have braces. And it's little wax strips. Exact same thing. You can buy it really, really reasonable, and you can use it that way as well. Much better. So, now let's get the wax and I'll show you how we're going to put some scent to it and a little bit of dye to make it like a real authentic expensive candle. So this first batch of wax is actually left over from last year when I made the hot cocoa ones. And so I'm going to make one candle with the hot cocoa. Now we're going to leave a couple inches at the top. Alright, so here we have the soy wax and it's all melted. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some scent, and we're also going to add some dye to it. Take a plastic spoon, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the dye first. So it says 3 drops per pound. So it's about a pound. Let's try this. It's all about experimenting. So I see it's got a little bit of a yellow color. So let's go with another. It doesn't take much of it to color your wax. I like my candles highly scented, so I add quite a bit of scent to it. I only make candles about twice a year, usually in the beginning of the fall and then again in the middle of the winter. When you're using a method like this, you just have to be really careful when you're pouring into your mold. There you go. Now I'm being a little brave and I'm going to try something I never tried before. And we will see what happens. I'm taking a Dollar Tree mold and I'm going to pour some wax into it. And now I have people save these for me. These are the little clamshells that scented wax comes in. You can take off the labels and soak the labels, and I have all of these. Now I'm going to make my own. Now this is a Christmas gift that won't cost you hardly anything. And it smells just like store-bought. Candles are complete, and this is what they look like. You would not be able to tell the difference between this and a brand new candle. And here are what the tarts look like. Same again, they look just like something you would buy at the store. And here I have an old-fashioned label on it. But what about these ones from the Dollar Tree? Maybe you don't have these kind of cases for yours. Well, the Dollar Tree ice cube trays work amazing. Take a look at the little pumpkins. These are little pumpkin scent warmers. And they look just as cute as what you would buy at a high-end retail store. You just pop them out of the trays and they pop out great. This is the first time using these silicone trays for candle molds. And I love the idea. And the wax that's left on the molds, just shake it in the trash can and or shake it back into your container and it comes right out. But now we have these candles, but the favorite part of all of it is decorating them. So we want to make them look like real authentic candles from a store. Labels I got last year, they were $3.50 on Essie. And they are a download. And once you download them, you can have them forever. And you can actually use these for certain commercial items. But most of the times I get my images off the internet. and I get them for free. What I do is I look for vintage labels online that are copyright free, which the Graphic Fairy, her website has all graphic free little images. Take a look at this. How cute is that? So it looks professional. But the Graphic Fairy, she has all kinds of images that you can use. You can search on her website. What I'm using is sheets of blank labels. So I get it from China, which takes about 3 months, but you can get about 50 to 100 sheets for about $8. So what we're going to do is, I have 2 more yet. I got to find my small labels. But now we have these. So let's go ahead and let's make these. So these are actually labels that you can peel. And I'll go ahead and peel these labels. And then I'll show you how everything looks at the end. People will ask me if I plan on selling any of my products. As people know, 2 years ago I did sell some products and they sold out within 4 days. I am thinking about selling my products again, but it won't be until next year. I'm really trying to establish my channel first, and I'm really working hard on my channel to establish a name, a brand name. And then I will work into cookbooks and work into some of my products. But yes, I will be planning on selling my products sometime soon. Hope this video inspires you to make candles, whether you're like me many years ago, taking some old crayons and melting them, and finding some free labels on the internet, and finding containers at the thrift store, or saving a little money to get some soy wax and a little bit of scent. I hope you give candle making a try. It's a wonderful project that involves your whole family. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. From my Grandma Fanny's diary, we're on October the 15th, 1943. Fanny writes, "Today we spent the day husking corn. It was a cool and stormy day." Do you like candle making? Here's some other videos I've done throughout the years. And also, maybe you missed some really good videos this week. Here they are too.